Insomniac is excellent. The director of Wolverine is excellent. I have no doubt these will be great games. But I will tell you what I said when I saw Spider-Man 2's launch trailer, or before launch trailer, which is, and it's the same thing I said when I saw Uncharted 4. You know, and I play a lot of games, guys. So I'm not saying this like I know and you don't know. But if you happen to be watching this show and you also happen to be like me in that you play a lot, so you're real familiar with the landscape of what's out there, you tend to be able to spot trends, even if the trends are, okay, I'm getting sick of this kind of game, much more than somebody who doesn't play as much as you do. And so when I saw Spider-Man 2, I was like, you know, this is kind of just, it's visually staggering, but it's fundamentally what they're asking you to do as a game is kind of the same thing. And people were like, shut up, Jeffy. I'm like, okay. And now these leaks are coming out. And again, it's unfair to judge a game. You know, I mean, these games don't look very good right now because this is leaks from a year ago. It's not meant to look good right now. It's not what it's about. So shame on anybody for actually judging the execution of these games. But if you do look at Spider-Man 3, which is basically Silk swinging around, I could show it to you, but Sony gets upset sometimes and they come after me, and I don't want that to happen. So you can look it up. It's on NeoGAF. You know, or you look at Wolverine right now. It's just, you know, it's the same stuff. And that's not bad. It's probably great for business, but you don't look like, you know, and everybody's going to be different. But for me, I was getting bored of this stuff back in Uncharted 4. And I'm not saying I was ahead of the curve, because I'm not. I'm not smarter in that way. I'm not trying to blow smoke up my butthole. I'm just saying, by the nature of playing a lot, probably the same reason movie critics are able to dislike things for a while the audience does that loves, because they've already gotten sick of it, and they're about 3 years ahead of the audience in terms of what they get sick of, okay? Like Sean says, yeah, same template with a new skin, right? It's because they made Mary Jane ugly. Oh, shut up. So my point of this, though, is that it is troubling when you look at these leaks at a gameplay level and go, these all just, you know, Wolverine's sense of smell is basically, at least it seems like, you know, Batman detective sense, or Alloy has something where you hit the R3 stick and she can sense things, right? And it's just all that kind of stuff, right? And I bring it up for a few reasons. So I bring it up because Sean Layden was on Games Industry Biz, a little podcast. The man, I just want you to understand, whatever you may think of me, and I'm sure it's brilliant and wonderful things, people, they know I don't play their game. I serve at the pleasure of you guys as best I can at the audience. I talk to Sean. Sean and I tweet back and forth. We've had Zooms, just personal one-on-one catch-up Zooms. He got no beef with me. I got no beef with him. But he knows good and well, he comes on my show, I'm going to talk about China and about where he's getting his money from. And it doesn't mean he's wrong, but he don't want to answer that shit. So he goes where he can control the message, and that's fair. And he's a smart guy, one of the smartest people working out there right now. But here's what he says. It's his advice on making games faster and cheaper. He says, and I think he's right on every one of these goddamn things. He says, most gamers don't see the end of your game, so design fewer levels and make your game shorter. 100%. 100%. He says, number 2, the tech advancements in games is not getting noticed by the majority of players, so ask yourself, is it worth the investment? We've been saying this for a while on this show, not just me. We've been saying this for a while. Remember that big news that came out and all the press was creaming in their pantyhose? Nobody would wear pantyhose. Hang on. I want to see what percentage of people still wear pantyhose. Probably not many. The number of women in the U.S. who bought regular pantyhose declined 40% between 2009 and 2013. Some people who still wear them are older women who consider them ladylike, women who work in conservative institutions like banks or courtrooms, women who like to dress up and think pantyhose can cover flaws of aging legs and look more polished. But most people have given up on the pantyhose. Here's what's really, really fucking scary. In literally 1 minute, I have forgotten how we've gotten to pantyhose. I don't know pantyhose. I don't know how we got to pantyhose. How did we get to pantyhose? Oh yeah, they were creaming in their pantyhose, right? Remember when the game press was creaming in their pantyhose because what are they called? The Naughty Dog folks were like, hey, look what we've done, procedural generated animation. So if your character butts up against a wall, you're never going to, it's going to calculate between like 50 mocap moments and tween between a couple of them. And so it's going to really be based on the dynamic physics. And it's like, how many days, weeks, months went into that? Nobody noticed it. Nobody cared. Sean Layden's right. The tech advancement in games not getting noticed. I mean, maybe you want to have some skunkworks group always pushing the engine forward, but you don't want to put that cost on the teams. Try AI and develop tools to do some heavy lifting and don't just throw people at the problem, of course. Finally, be disciplined and strict on what you can deliver and when. Don't spend too long on an idea if it's not working. All of this is absolutely true. Movie Maniac says, in fairness, 11 years ago, that was neat. I'm not saying it wasn't neat then and the stuff they're working on isn't neat now. I'm saying that what Sean is saying is most people aren't going to notice it. And I'm sorry, I get that it's cool to you, Akimax. No one, I don't think anybody would go, it's not cool. But if you're playing a video game and that's what you're noticing, there's a problem with the video game.